Hi there, my name is Aaron Short. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm having one of those technical days today. I was trying to get two cameras working, which I've done in the past, and it was not working. In fact, then neither camera was working, which is really, really bizarre. Anyway, today is September 9th, and I shall do some troubleshooting shooting later on. September the 9th, 2021. It's great to be here. And it's time for another live Gear Chat Hangout session. Thanks for joining me. I've got some friends here already. It's great. And I've got some things to talk about today. Most notably, the announcement that NAMM next year, the big trade show, will be summer, but in California. So usually California's in January, and that's the big one for like 4 or 5 days. And then the summer one is in Nashville, and that's usually for like 3 days. As you know, the one we just went to was only for 2 days in Nashville. And now what they're going to do is they're going to move the one in Anaheim to next June for 3 or 4 days? I think it's three days only. So only 3 days for the big one, and it'll be in June. So obviously there's lots to talk about here. We'll see what we think. I'll just say hello first of all. Thomas Nonsense is here. It says, good morning, Aaron. Oh yeah, Brisbane, right? 6 a.m. Very cool. It's 4, I feel like it's 6 a.m. here, Thomas, but it's actually 4 p.m. here. And yeah, I don't know why that is. Jim says, hi from Vermont. Happy Friday. Wish that I could start the weekend too. Yeah, that's tomorrow, right? Hi, Roslyn. And I can't believe it's been a week since we had that rain and the floods. They're still pumping water out in this building. There's still no hot water. So if you see me live streaming and my eyes are red, it's because I'm using like a bucket of boiled water and the soap is not washing away, so it's going in my eyes. I haven't been crying. Vernon Smith watching from Suffolk. Lee's here. Hi, Lee. Hi, Olds. Hi, David. Good to see you. Hi, Patsy Smith in England. It's hot today. How is it here? It's 82 here and 49% humidity, which is quite nice. Dr. McFarland, how you doing? What do you think about the news about the NAMM show? You think it's a good thing? Are you planning on going? Hi, Mark. Good to see you. Fantastic. I'm just checking out the stuff behind me to see how messy the room is. The great thing with these modern cameras is you can blur out the screen and you can't see the mess so well, right? So yeah, let's start with that, and then I'll read out some viewers' comments I had this week and take any questions you want to chat about today. And I'll give you an update on my gear as well. I've been selling some things on Reverb, and I'll talk about that maybe as well if we have time. Anyway, before we start that, cheers. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. Sandhole Sniffer mug is here. I have to cover my face or it won't see it because I've got facial recognition on, as you can see like that. They tell me the cost of the merchandise has increased at teespring.com. I don't think that affects the customer. If you check on there, I think the price should be the same. I think that affects me if I allow it to. But they also said the quality will improve. So I'm going to order another Sandhole Sniffer t-shirt and see if they're telling the truth. I'll let you know when I get it if the quality has improved, because maybe some people want to get the new one. Lee says, I have no sound. Well, I'm broadcasting sound, Lee, so you should have sound. Can someone else verify that you can hear me, please? Otherwise, I'm sitting here and talking to myself, which is never a fun thing to do. Let me check myself out on YouTube. There we go. I can hear myself, Lee, so it's just you. And it's interesting, like when you open the YouTube app, it says 240p. That's such low quality. So do make sure you click on the settings and change it to 1080p, because you're going to get much smoother video, much better or clearer audio when you watch in HD like that. Okay, good. Yeah, it happens a lot, Lee. You know, sometimes I'm watching other people's streams with my Apple AirPods in, and it goes out of sync. And I used to say things like, oh, you've gone out of sync, and it always scares the person that's streaming, but it happens a lot with Bluetooth. You actually have to like pause the video and then play again, and it kind of resyncs itself. Yeah. Thank you, thank you. I can hear me. Thank you, thank you. Good, good, good. So, yeah, so I'll let you know about the Sandhole Sniffer merch, and I'll let you know what the quality is like. But yeah, I'm glad you said that, Lee, because something is going on with my computer today, as it often does with this digital stuff. And yeah, and a quick tip, if your internet is ever playing up, then or not working quite right, unplug the router for a few minutes and then plug it back in again. That usually fixes a lot of problems. So let's talk about NAMM. I've got some thoughts on this, and you know, for me, the NAMM show is one of the highlights of my year. And I almost feel bad saying that because I'm not a company. I'm not Fender. I'm not Martin. I'm not Thomas Blue. I'm not whoever, right? So really, I'm going there. I mean, I have a purpose to go there. I'm going there to make videos, make connections, and work with brands to promote them. I'm also, I mean, honestly, I'm going as a fan as well, aren't I? I'm going as a fan to see the new stuff, make the connections, and help to grow the channel, right? But that's not really what it's for, is it? A trade show is for the companies making the products to announce the new products, to launch the new products, and to take orders, basically. I mean, take orders from stores. So, for example, you'll go in the Martin booth and they'll have all the guitars around, which is great, but then they'll have all these tables in the middle. And those tables are not for us, they're for Guitar Center, Sweetwater, Maury's Music, to sit down with them and place their orders for the year. That is the reason. To do it in person, to check out the new models in person, because it's hard enough to find new models as it is, right? When you go to a store, even before the pandemic, when you go to a store, it's hard to find stuff. It really is. So that's why they do it. They can sit down, they can make those connections, those relationships with stores that are going to order their products and show off the new products that are coming. That's what it's for. So, obviously Summer NAMM was a weird one, and some people kind of criticized it, which I didn't agree with. I don't think you can even really talk about that. They were just trying to get things back again. They were just trying to do something. And I think it's great they had an in-person event. I still didn't visit every booth. I made some good connections. I heard some companies did good business and made good deals with other companies. That's what it's all about, once again. So I think it's great. I think it's great they're trying. I think it's great they're trying to get that back on its feet. And it's not easy to do, is it? It's not easy to do something of that scale. So I take my hat off. If I wore a hat, I would take it off to them for doing that. But, and I'm not surprised about January at all. They announced they were going to do it just like before, like nothing happened. And they were getting the booths and things ready for that. But last week, our friend from G7th, Capos, said that it's hard for him to get the right paperwork right now to actually travel from the UK. So that's a real problem straight away. And then, of course, travel, and you can say, well, there's not going to be new products. I think there will be new products. There's new products right now. We just had the new Headrush MX5. There's some new Ibanez guitars that just got released, like a budget version of their guitars was just released yesterday, I think. We are getting new products. The JBL that I covered. And there's more. If you can think of more, put them in the chat. There's been more new products released as well. And there will be more. Okay, we've not had huge releases like a new Helix, a new Martin guitar model, a new Fishman pickup. We've not had anything huge. We've had a few big things that were due to come out. But yeah, we need it for that, of course. But I totally get it. January is a tough time to do a trade show anyway. You've got to fly, you've got to travel, it's in the winter, you might get bad weather, and of course, let's be honest, NAMM was already a problem for a lot of people getting the flu and things like that, just simply because they have so many people in that, they're jammed into that space. So it was already going to be a problem. So I'm not surprised they moved it to the summer, and I'm not surprised they're keeping it in Anaheim, because it'll be great weather out there, it'll be a huge venue, and they can do it on a bigger scale than Summer NAMM. Summer NAMM really isn't big enough year to year for all those companies to come. And I'm sure not all companies will go, of course, but the ones that do go will want the space, and I think it's going to be great. And I'll plan on going. But yeah, 3 days seems a little bit on the short side to me. Then again, with less companies going than normal, maybe it'll be just right. So I think it's good. I think it's good. And then hopefully 2023, we might see things back to how they were, or maybe not for a few more years. Maybe they'll stick to that format for a few more years. Who knows? So that's what I think. I don't really have a thought on it. I just wish them all the best. I want to see them gradually get things back. I don't think they'll ever get rid of NAMM. Some people are saying we don't need NAMM anymore. I think that's a bit over the top. I do think that companies now can launch products very successfully with that money that they're saving on their own platforms, and also sending review units out. So YouTubers, of course, they get even more exposure that way. And we all have such great video and audio now. We can do great reviews and demos. They can do great reviews and demos. Everyone's up their game with live streaming because of the pandemic and being in lockdown. So that is obviously going to save them a lot of money. But like I said earlier, I also believe that NAMM is a social thing. And as great as this is, that I can sit here and talk to everyone here and we can interact on this stuff all over the world, there's nothing like walking into a room, picking up that piece of gear, talking to the creator and making that personal connection. That's one thing we miss, right? Like, this has been amazing. These live streams are amazing. I love YouTube. Hopefully I'll get some real life gigs back soon because I need to. I still want to do this. I will do this. But it'd be nice to play, well, it'll be good and bad to play to people in an actual gig situation, face to face. So in some ways, I prefer this. I have more control over this. I don't have people talking to me, requesting songs while I'm playing a song. I get to control the levels exactly how I want them. All these kinds of things are real pluses. And I get to play all over the world. Of course, there is something about walking into even a small venue with a few people in there and playing to the people. And for me, that's what the NAMM show is. It's that personal connection. And that's why I've always gone, to be honest. It's not really about the gear, it's about the people. So let's say hi to our friends. Heather's here, Tone Guy's here in Brooklyn. Great. Dodging raindrops. Yeah, it's raining today, so I thought I would stay inside. And Lee said it was the internet. Rosanna can't even connect at the minute. Oh dear. Well, it's good we have cell phones as kind of a backup, isn't it? Lee, it must be something in the air, because I've got this issue with my cameras not connecting today, and you've got something with the internet. So maybe there's something to do with that. Old says, I bet January is too soon. Companies just started to put back orders now. By summer, they may be able to actually deliver new models to stores. Yeah, Olds, I agree. And I see new products being released. But I also see massive backlogs, like Mesa Boogie amps are completely sold out everywhere. Tranquilizer, great. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate that. Oh yeah, by the way, I've got this new screen up there. So if you subscribe or share or super chat me, it goes up on the screen. I'm still tweaking it though, but it's pretty cool. So where was I? Yeah, back orders. You want to talk about back orders? Now, I know that Maury's Music was saying that they were selling out, they have less stock. I think they have more stock right now than they have for a while, he was saying, but they still have much less stock than they used to have before the pandemic, right? So other brands are even worse off. And okay, Martin are back ordered to, they're saying what, 2023? The new orders will come in now, which is a long way off, right? But I see other brands that are completely sold out. It's absolutely nuts. Mesa Boogie, I believe, are waiting on some components for their amps, and they don't have anything anywhere. They haven't for months, and they're all completely back ordered, which is a bad time considering they just connected with Gibson, right? And then I was looking at PRS guitars on Sweetwater, and I text my sales, they call them sales engineers over here. I texted the sales engineer and said, hey, it'd be great if I could search for what's in stock on the website. And he said, oh, you can. On the left of the page, there's a button for in stock. So okay, great. So I found it and I clicked on it and there's nothing. There's not a single PRS guitar at Sweetwater at all. Isn't that nuts? Isn't that absolutely crazy? It's absolutely crazy. Sandy Hills, how you doing? I thought of you the other day. Someone related to Charlie Pride was posting in the Charlie Pride group, and I posted myself there because I was doing the Crystal Chandelier cover, and they were singing there, and I thought of you. I actually thought I might do a collaboration with them at some point if possible. Brad Miller, great to see you here again. Listening on the ride home. Great, yeah. I often do that. I'll listen to YouTube videos and have the phone in my pocket like a podcast. Brad Bradstock is here. And Brad is saying, learning to set automation on the Voice Live 3 Extreme. What a great pedal, Voice Live 3 Extreme and automation. Yeah, I believe you can load backing tracks in there and have effects turn on and off at certain points of the song. I mean, how lazy is that, Brad? You don't even have to press any buttons anymore. I mean, next the guitar will play itself and the singing will just come out of the speaker and they'll call it a DJ. Sorry, I'm in that mood today. When I have technical problems, I get in that sassy mood. All right. So, oh, I didn't mean to do that. So, yeah, that's what I think. I just think I'm not worried about new gear. I've heard rumors of many new products that are just not shipping because companies are fulfilling other orders. Take Martin, for example. I'm sure they have new models that are ready. These companies work years ahead. It's like Apple, right? They work years ahead. There's definitely new Martin models in their laboratory. But they have to now focus on the standard series. They have to cut all production of other models and just focus on that standard series. They need to get OM28s in people's hands. And I noticed that Maury's Music has no OM28s. I'm pretty sure the OM28 is the most popular Martin model on the planet. And I'm sure Martin just want to crank those out to meet orders, of course. So I'm really surprised by PRS and orders that are coming in apparently are already spoken for. People are still buying instruments, even at this point. I could understand it during the lockdown and people were getting their checks from the government or this kind of thing, right? What do you call it? Stimulus. And they were spending that extra money if they could. Some people needed that to live. Some people had that as extra cash. Some people were at home. They wanted to learn the guitar. We know that from the research that's been done by these brands. So I totally understood that. But the fact that these guitars and gear are still selling out now, it just seems crazy to me. And Brad says a DJ can't sing like me. Oh, hang on. Let me, I'm just going to reset my, my ticker up there on the screen so it times out after like a minute, because as it is, it's not gonna disappear. So I will just do that in a second. And yeah, that's really where I'm at with this stuff. I understand that trade shows can't do that much right now because everyone's sold out anyway. But of course, there will be new products. There will be new companies that want to get that exposure. There's one company I was talking with today that was saying they have a new product coming out, and they're a smaller, been around for a while, but they're a smaller company. I won't tell you who they are in case they don't want me to say what they're up to, but they were saying that they were really relying on the NAMM show to announce this product to get that exposure. And of course, now they don't have that. They might wait for the summer to release it. To which I said, well, why not just release it now and use YouTube to do that, right? And I don't know. We shall see. But to some companies, it seems like it's still really, really, really important to have those things. I can't see what I'm looking for here. I should do it later on. Never a good idea to adjust stuff while you're live. All right. That was just a joke, Brad, about the DJs. All right, cool. So let me know what you think about this. I think things are still just, catching up and getting back to some kind of normalcy. And where I am, things are still not particularly normal. So, the only thing I don't like is when people say outrageous things like, well, NAMM is over, it's not needed anymore. I just think that's too dramatic. I don't think that's fair myself. I get the point, but I think that's a bit too much. But we'll see. I might be completely wrong. In 5 years, there may not be a NAMM anymore. We might all be online. Like everything might go online. Who knows? Old says, I see, probably due to shortages, a lot of used Martins asking new prices. Don't know if they're getting these prices or not. Yeah, I agree with that, Olds. I agree with that. And because it's supply and demand, right? Because you can't find instruments in stores, people then realize that and they're listing what they have for much higher prices. That makes sense. It's all supply and demand, isn't it? So, for example, if you have a PRS right now, and it's in mint condition, and you know that there's none at Sweetwater, you can probably list that on Reverb for the actual price. And along those lines, I've seen people list the Mesa amps. So there's a Mesa amp, the JP2C, and that's around $2,500 or something, right? When it's new, it's a 3-channel 100-watt head. Well, I've seen those now on Reverb for like $5,000 because they know there are none. And they know if there's someone with the money that wants that amp, they'll pay it. And that's a whole new story. I don't think. Now, do I agree with that? I don't know, because if I had something to sell, and there's not many of them and the prices are up, if I compare other prices on Reverb, well, of course, I'm not going to put it at prices I would have done a few years ago, am I? And actually, those amps went up in price a few years ago anyway, I noticed. Like, so much stuff has gone up in price. And then with these shortages as well, prices are now just through the roof, absolutely through the roof. So that's affecting things too. Will it go the other way? Will it eventually? Will people have so much gear and stop playing when things kind of go back to, again, some kind of normalcy? Is that going to stop? And are people going to sell things really cheap? Is it going to crash? I don't know. I can't really have a thought on that. Jasper says retailers aren't budging much either, because when they sell a guitar, they don't know how long it'll be till they get another one. Exactly, Jasper. I've seen that too. Gone are the days of calling up and saying, can we do a deal? Because there was lots of guitars around. That works both ways. So the new market is selling at the advertised price as well. There are still some deals. I bought a few things recently, where I called up. It's always best to call someone up and ask them if they have anything they can do. There are still things where you can get that, definitely. And buying used, you can still get great deals. I often search around now. I never used to be into used gear, but I realize now, of course, it's a great way to do things. You can buy things that are much cheaper. You can try them out and you can sell them on. And if you might gain a little bit, you might lose a little bit. But when you buy something new, you lose a lot, right? Of course, it's like a new car. You drive off the lot and you lose 10%, or is it 20%? So I think the used market is important. I'm a fan of Reverb and other sites too. And I'm always looking around on those sites. I think it's a good tip. I also think it's good to call stores you're buying from and say, hey, I want to buy this today. Is there anything you can do? Because that does seem to work occasionally. And if they say, I've only got one, I have to sell it for the price, then that's something you have to decide as well. It's just the way it is right now, right? Yeah, let me know what you think in the chat. Are you buying? This would be good research, actually. Are you buying right now? Hasn't got to be guitars either. It could be anything. Are you buying right now? Where are you buying? What are you looking for? Have you got any deals lately? Let me know. Let me know. Roslyn says Martins usually go up in value. Well, that's the other thing, Roslyn. Yeah, Martins and Fenders and things hold their value really well, and they will go up in value. I think it's really crazy. Again, this is just my opinion, but the retro guitars that BMO and I and Kooky love have gone up in price. I don't really get that. I kind of get it with like the John Mayer guitars, because they only made a few hundred, and then some of them will break and disappear and get lost, and you get less and less guitars. You can't get them ever again. I understand why those prices go up, especially if the guitars are well maintained. But I don't understand like the Martin retro guitars. I know people want them. I know people love them. They want them. But the fact of the matter is that is holes drilled into your Martin. When that pickup does die one day, let's say in 20 years time, right? The pickup stops working. Hopefully it won't BMO, but let's say it does. And there's no parts available. You're going to be stuck with that guitar. The holes in that might not bother you. You see guitars all the time that are great guitars where they've taken out a preamp or something and there's a hole in it, right? Look at Maury's guitar where he's worn through it with his pick. Some people don't care about that stuff, but I personally am surprised that those guitars have gone up in price. I'm not completely surprised because it's a great pickup system, and I do think that it's sad that they never kind of updated that, and it's still a great system. I understand why they still sell for what they do, but I also think if those guitars can go up in price with that potential issue, then think about prices of other guitars. And even in the last 5 years, man, I'm thinking about it now, like an HSS Sir, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, I saw one on Reverb new for like $2,100 or $2,199, which is a great price for a guitar like that. And whether you like Sir or not, I don't know, but they've got stainless steel frets, they're well made, they're high quality instruments. And a Fender at that time was around, say, 17. So that wasn't a bad upcharge, $500 to get the stainless steel frets and the kind of attention to detail that Sir have. Those guitars now I saw are like 27, 28. And I see that across the board. And obviously everything goes up, right? Prices go up, cost of living goes up. Hopefully wages go up, not always when you're a musician, but sometimes they do. So that does make sense. That does make sense. But things go up a lot. And I would say I always say this, if you're looking for something, and you know you want it, and you find a good price on something, and you definitely want that thing, then buy it. Because I can't believe, as someone that's been into gear the last 5 years, the way the prices have gone up on stuff. It's kind of crazy. And then the collectible stuff, even more so. The John Mayer guitar that I sold was $7,500, and I stupidly sold it for $7,500. And now, if you had one in that condition, it's probably worth $12,000. Maybe in 10 years, it'll be worth $20,000. Maybe it'll be worth nothing. I don't know. That's why I sold it. Okay, you can't live life regretting things. But prices of gear do go up. And if you find something you like, think of tube amps. If there's no tubes, then the prices will go up. If there's no wood, right? If you want, it's like with the Brazilian rosewood. If you wanted that 20 years ago, you should have bought one then, because now no one can afford them. I'm just talking off the top of my head here, so please don't quote me on anything I'm saying. Rosalind says, I found Martin's go up in value. Yeah, that's a good reason for buying Martin, Fender, Gibson, and products like that. They'll always be worth something. The problem with some brands that are lesser known is that when you try and sell them, a lot of people won't even know what it is, and they won't trust it. So you've got to bear that in mind. Dr. McFarlane says, I'm always buying and selling. Yeah, I think as a YouTuber, unless you can get sponsored by a company or get an artist price in return for a video, which is a great way to do it, then buying and selling used is the way to go. Because you can buy used, make videos on it, and then you can sell it on. And like I said, you might make a little bit of money, you might break even, but even if you lose $50, you got that video from it. So that's cool. The crazy thing is to buy something brand new, make a video on it, and then sell it and lose $500, because you're never going to make that money back unless you're a really popular YouTuber, right? Unless you're getting loads of views, you're never going to make that money back. So, looking to get new studio monitors. So I have these focals, and I really like them. I really like them. One of them does make some buzzing at times. I'm not quite sure why. I think it's because interference possibly, but it's weird. It's just in one speaker, and it's kind of random, but they are very good. And actually, Sweetwater just helped me out. I also have Focal over-the-ear headphones, and I hadn't used them for a couple of years, and the cable just broke. I don't know what happened. The cable was broken. I didn't even touch them. Like it just kind of disintegrated or something. And I looked on the Focal site, and it kind of implied that this cable was like $300. I was like, $300? I'll just buy new headphones. It's absolutely insane. So I went to Sweetwater, and after about a month, they managed to get a reply from Focal, and they sold me a new cable for $80, which is great. Okay, Brad says, I just picked up a Chox. I think you pronounce it Chox power supply for my board. It was open box, $50 off the retail price. When I got there, it was still a seal on the box, but you have to look around to find those deals. Yeah, a friend of mine that was visiting bought a Tone Dexter. It was open box from Sweetwater, say $50, and it was brand new, basically, in the box. The person had just used it, put it back, sent it back. I have bought some pedals that showed up full of scratches. That's not fun. So it's a bit of a lucky dip when you do that, Brad, but you can get some really great deals. And they are very good power supplies. I think they'll power the high power pedals like the HX Stomp as well. And they're very small and practical. Yeah, they're good. They're some of the best. Thomas Nonsense says the RRP, MSRP of an SSS Strat Ultra in Australia is Australian. What? Whoa. $38.99. But I bought one new last weekend for $22.99.50, a discount on already big discount. Yeah, list prices, as with a lot of products, are not always the price, right? So like with an Apple computer, if it says $38.99, it's $38.99. They don't discount unless you're a student or in education. But I think with a lot of music gear, if it says $38.99, you can get it for, say, $3,000, or just depending on the store. Now, some products will not let them do that. Like Mesa Boogie won't let companies sell them cheaper. They are the price, and they have to stick to those prices. Occasionally, stores will break that somehow, get around that, but they shouldn't do it. They might get in trouble with the company. But that really blows my mind, Thomas. I mean, I have to wonder, though, because obviously you're in Australia, so $38.99 Australian dollars, how does that compare to, I guess you got to look at like cost of living, right? How does that compare to America? So say the rent on an apartment here is, on a one-bed apartment is $2,000, right? Is it the same in a major city in Australia, or is it different? Obviously, I do understand that when American guitars are shipped to Australia, you're paying a lot more money because they're obviously shipping them to Australia. It's the same thing here with Cole Clark. If you look at a Cole Clark in Australia and then look at the price in America, it goes up a lot because obviously they're shipping those guitars to America, and then the distributor is inspecting them and shipping them out to the store, and then the store is putting their price on top, as they would in Australia. But there's more links in the chain, right? So we have to remember that. That always happens. But $38.99. I mean, I love those guitars, but yeah. I was actually looking at one myself. That's the SSS. I was looking at the HSS. And once again, they're all sold out. It's absolutely crazy. Like, who is still buying? I mean, I know. I've been buying some stuff lately, but is everyone still buying like they were a year ago? I can't really get my head around it. Jim said the store that I bought my wife's Taylor GT about 100 miles away just offered me a 10% on a Taylor 812 CE 3300. Okay, 10% off. Okay, so 100 miles away. So you're still going to be paying the sales tax on that, right, Jim? Let me look this up for you. So it's an 812 CE. I'll tell you what I think. I'm going to jump over to Sweetwater. And you can tell me which one it is, if you don't mind. Just make sure I got the right window open here. Okay, so let me just make myself fit in the screen better here. There we go. The head. Okay, so 812 CE. Which one is that here? Let's see what you're saying. 3330 Taylor 812 CE. 812 CE must be this one. Why are there two different models here? $36.99. I can't see a difference. I'm sure there is one. Rosewood back and sides. Okay, I'll just click on this one. So, oh, they actually have some. How about that? They actually have some at Sweetwater. Crazy. All right, so Jim, they offered you 10% on the Taylor 812 CE, which is this guitar right here. And I love this. I love shopping with you online. Okay, you're saying there's no sales tax. So, okay, so the correct terminology for that is they don't collect the sales tax. All right, I'm not going to get into that into too much detail, but yeah, they don't collect sales tax for when you buy out of state. Okay, and they're offering it to you for how much? 3330. So if you got it from Sweetwater, 3330, that is a big saving. Yes. The only thing I love about Sweetwater is, and I think if you call Sweetwater, they might do a deal too. You know what I would do? I would look at these. I love the pictures on here. I love the fact they put the weight. That really matters to me, the weight of a guitar. So I know they're very close. 1 ounce wouldn't bother me. But sometimes you get a guitar which is much lighter, much heavier. But look at these photos. The photos are really great. You can see absolutely everything in really good detail. Excuse the airplanes flying over. You can see the wood grain on the headstock. Sometimes these necks have the streaked ebony. Well, they all do on these guitars. So you can really go in there and check out what the streaked ebony is going to look like when you receive it. I think that's really important on the Taylor like that. And then you can click on the other one and you can do the same thing. So look at that. This is a great example. This neck has less streaks in it, which you might really like. The only thing is the body is not quite as nice, in my opinion. So you've got those lines in the top. But my point really is you can kind of choose which one you want. And I think that's really cool. So what I would do if I was you is I'd look at the pictures that the other store sends you and this, and I would then call Sweetwater and say, can you do anything on it? They probably say no because they haven't got very many of them, but maybe they will. Who knows, right? But like you said, if they're not collecting sales tax, then maybe that's the better option for you. You want to figure that out yourself. Yeah, that's a good price, Jim. If you're looking for one, I'd probably go for it. But like I said, always look on Sweetwater. Always look at the pictures because I love the fact they show you the weight and they show you the exact look of the guitar. They also have an excellent return policy, and I highly recommend them. That's right. I always start at Sweetwater, and then I would go from there, right? So, but yeah, That is a good price, and if you're looking, I would consider getting that, definitely. Always check the return policy, though. Some stores have like a restocking fee and stuff like that. It's not so fun. Mark says, I bought a 2021 Martin HD28 a month ago for $28.99 out the door. The dealer scratched the neck installing a strap button. You can barely see it. Didn't bother me. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? If you got like B stock and scratches, does it matter to you is the question. That's cool. Congrats. Mark, send us some pictures for the Monday show. I'll show it on the channel. That's the other thing with the sales tax. And again, it's not, they don't collect it, right? Obviously, the whole thing about tax on that is another subject, but they don't collect the sales tax. But less and less states are doing that now. So I remember like 5 years ago, if you bought from Sweetwater and they didn't collect the sales tax. So for example, 5 years ago, for a PRS guitar, you could get a discount on that guitar. They wouldn't collect the sales tax on that guitar. And the guitars were cheaper. And they had them in stock. Now, if you're in New York City, they have to collect sales tax by law. There's no discounts because they haven't got any. And the prices have gone up. So I kind of wish when I bought the gear I bought 5 years ago, I just kept it. Because now I'd be using it, right? Hi, Rosanna. Rosewood back. Yeah, I think that was the same, wasn't it? And thanks for moderating, Rosanna and Rosanna and Lee. Appreciate it. Things have been quieter on the streams lately, but I'm glad you're here to protect us from the trolls. Jim says the 14th fret, not the 12th. Okay, sorry. Maybe it's the wrong one, but the price is probably similar, right? What year? I have one used, mint from 2015 before they changed the bracing. I paid $2,500. Yeah, that's another question. V bracing versus the previous bracing. That's a whole new topic. I love these live chats because we just go off on tangents and they just kind of guide themselves, don't they? Hi, Ron. Good to see you. Are you new here? Subscribe and ring the bell if you are. I really would appreciate it. This is how you do it. Click on the like button. Click on the subscribe button. And if it asks you on the bell, click the bell. Say all notifications because I want to be bothered when Aaron goes live or posts a new video. Thank you. That would mean a lot to me if you did that. Okay. And I'm gonna time this thing out next time, but I'm gonna leave you up there, Tranquilizer22, because I appreciate you subscribing, so you can be on the stream for the whole show. Patsy Smith says 4,000 Australian dollars is 3,000 US dollars. Okay. I forgot to think of the exchange rate. It's not 1-to-1, is it? But then, like I said, you also have to factor in cost of living and stuff like that. That Taylor is a great guitar, easy to play. Yep, Taylors are easy to play. I will eventually check them out on my channel when the time is right. Alan Coleman says, think the Taylor's 12 range are jumbos and 14 auditoriums. Ah, yes. They're very clever at... very clever. Well, it's just obvious at Taylor because the numbers are very, very easy. Like the 114 is a series below the 214 and then the 314. And the woods do change. It's not completely like an 8-1. It's not exactly like a 614 is better than the 514. It means different woods as well. But the numbers tell you the body size, and then the C is colorway, the E is electronics. It's much easier to figure out what the model is. With Martin, one thing I love about them is they're a bit more quirky, aren't they? It goes from like an 18 to a 28 to 35. It doesn't always make as much sense. But then sometimes I kind of like that quirkiness too, because it gives us lots to talk about on the channel. Jim says, Rosen, the new 2021 model, New Hampshire, does not have any sales tax on anything for any... Oh, okay. So it's not a case that they don't collect it out of state. And actually, most companies are now doing that. And I think by the end of this year, they'll all be doing it, or very soon. Another reason to buy something if you need it. But they don't have any sales tax on anything for anybody. So I'll see you later. I'm moving to New Hampshire. Bye, everyone. It might happen. It might happen. The Taylor 12 series are concert size, not jumbo. Okay. And Rosin says, very nice. I have the 12 fret. No cool armrest like the Deluxe. I do like the cutaway and wood binding, wood pick guard. Yeah, things like the armrests are really nice. Really nice. Anyone else doing any shopping this week? Let me know in the chat. I got a new thing this week. This is from Peterson. as you know, if you watch my channel, I love Peterson, and I worry sometimes that people find the talk of guitar tuners not interesting. I think being in tune is really important, and this is a kind of pre-production of the next Peterson tuner. It's a desktop tuner, and I really like it, and I'm going to review it at some point and also have them back on the channel to talk about it. But as you know, I'm a big fan of this company. I really am. I was before I met them. But I have this one. This clips on your guitar, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. If you've got an acoustic guitar, then this is what I always use to tune. Then if you have a pickup in your guitar or play electric guitar, they sell the pedal tuner, which is equally as amazing, really well made, big clear screen, very versatile. I use that on my pedal board. But the reason I'm really impressed with this, and I am genuinely impressed with these, and you can pre-order them now. I think Sweetwater will probably take a pre-order, and you can use my affiliate link if you want to. But this thing will actually prop up on your desk. And then it's got this huge screen, and it's rechargeable. So you just charge it up. You haven't got to put batteries in it, which is really nice. It's got this huge screen on it. Look at that. Very clear, very easy to read. And you can tune with it either plugged in or through the built-in microphone. And it also has a built-in speaker because it's also a metronome. And if you watch my channel, you'll know that I'm a big fan of tuners and metronomes because they allow me to practice my pitch and also my timing as well. So I can just press this button here and press start. And there you go. And it's not just the sound, it's also visual on the screen too. So if you turn the volume off and press play, you can just sit there and actually look at it, see? That's really good if you're recording or somewhere on stage, you want to just see what the tempo is without playing. So I really like this thing, and I apologize for being so excited by tuners and metronomes, but that's just the way it is. I really like this. I'm really, really, really impressed. It's got headphones jack on there. So what I would do, and this is the truth, is I would keep this in my gig bag for my acoustic guitar at all times. So I've always got it with me. I would then keep the pedal version on my pedal board, which is where it is right now. So it's always there on my pedal board. And I would keep this on my desk. And that means I can wake up in the morning. It's even got a built-in stand. So I can wake up in the morning and I can turn this on, and I can either use the mic for my singing. You can check your pitch of your voice, or I can tune my acoustic via the microphone, or I can plug in my electric and tune that way, and I can start a metronome beat and I can practice my timing for half an hour, and I'm good to go for the rest of the day. I've done some timing practice, and then my guitar is in tune. Really, really, really cool. And I just noticed it's even got an LED for that metronome as well. So it's got the visual indicator left to right, and the LED flashing, and the sound if you want it as well, and it's just on the side here. So yeah, that's going to be it's a sponsored video in the sense that they sent me the thing to review, but I really like it, and I don't talk about stuff on here that I don't like unless I bought it and I don't like it, and I want to warn you about it because I didn't like it. But this is really cool. I really like it. See? So that's the Strobo Plus HD-C, and that will be available in a couple of weeks. And you can order one on Sweetwater, pre-order it. You can use my link below if you want to. That's really cool. How much is the desk tuner? Let's have a look. Peterson. Now, they're not the cheapest tuners, but I do think they're the best. So, desktop is here. This is the clip-on tuner. The clip-on tuner right now is $70. I've had mine for a long time. The battery life is really good. The quality is really good. I've had no issues with it. So that is what I recommend to everybody because it'll clip on any guitar and it's affordable at 70 bucks. You've then got the pedal tuner, which is $139, which I would recommend if you have a guitar pedal board. This is the thing to have because it's a fantastic screen. Really, it's built like a tank. Look at that thing. It's all metal. Really, really cool. And then the desktop one is a bit more, as you'd expect. It's more money. It's $179. $179. They're not there yet. But look at that thing. It just looks great. And I'm really, really enjoying it. And anything that makes me play more in tune and more in time is a good thing to have, in my opinion. So you can click on pre-order there if you want to get one of them. And that means the whole line has been updated now with the HD look. Well, they've made a case now for the clip-on tuner as well. And there's also this one. This is like the real deal. This is $800. You see, this is really interesting. That is a real strobe tuner. That is a strobe right there. That's not a digital screen. That is a strobe tuner. That's why it's $800. That is the most accurate kind of tuner you'll ever use. But for most people, it's way overkill, a lot of money, and you just simply don't need it. So I would, like I said, if budget is a concern, the clip-on tuner is just the first one to get. If you have a pedal board of some kind, the floor tuner is the second one to consider. And if you are often at your desk and find yourself needing to reach for a tuner, just leave this HDC on the desk and you're always good to go. Also great if you're setting up your guitar or something as well. It's really great for that because you can check the intonation. And some people say these things don't matter. I like to be as in tune as I possibly can be. I do realize the guitar is not a perfect instrument and it does have, there's no way to be perfectly in tune, but I always feel like I'm very happy with the results of these tuners. So that's cool. Now some other news. I recently reviewed a preamp, acoustic preamp, and they've actually made some changes to it. So I don't know if anyone went out and bought one yet. And if you did, don't worry about it. It's still a great preamp. But they've actually taken some customer feedback and made some changes to it. And I did tell them I'd let you know. So this is Sun Audio. They've had me do some videos for them, and I really appreciate their support with my channel. And it's great because they do acoustic products, which is what I talk about, right? So I've reviewed the MS2, which is a fantastic stereo preamp if you have a stereo setup in your acoustic guitar. I've also reviewed the Nucleus, which is a really great distortion pedal for electric guitar. I did not review the Rabbit Head pedal, but I did review the Pristine pedal. And if you look at it, this is the original version that I reviewed. It's got the 3 knobs on it. There's a mid switch, which is inside. They've now moved that onto the top of the pedal. So they have made some changes. This is the original version. And like I said, it's all based on customer feedback. Something else they changed is these 2 buttons here are boost and mute. And I was thinking when I saw this, I don't really press mute that often. I press boost, and I don't want to hit them both at the same time. One solution for this is to remove that cap on the right, so the cap on the left side is higher up. But they've actually now made the foot switch higher up on the boost side. So not major changes. If you bought one already, I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't rush out to upgrade. But if you haven't bought one yet, then you should get the newer version because they've got some nice little enhancements there, should we say. For example, on the top, they just had the 3 knobs, treble, middle, bass. They now have that extra knob there, which actually makes it look kind of more symmetrical. So I think that's a good thing. But yeah, if you're looking for a good preamp for acoustic guitar and you don't have one, then this is worth considering. And I would try to get the new version if you can. And while we're online, I shall try to find the pictures of the newer version so I can show you. I shall do that after I've caught up on the chat here. Quick announcement as well. Next week, 4 p.m. on Wednesday, I have Daisy Tempest here. I'm really promoting that a lot. I'd love it if you can make it. So it's going to be Wednesday, September 15th at 4 p.m. EST. And please join us. She's going to talk about the guitars that she's made. She's just made her first guitar under her own name, Tempest Guitars. And she's been making videos this week of that. We'll be showing the videos. We'll be showing the photographs of this guitar. And I'd really appreciate it if you can make it for this one because I want to support her. Actually, the first female that I've had on the show so far. And that's not a choice of mine. It's just the way it's worked out. But I'm really glad that Daisy will be the first female guest I have on the stream. And I'm really happy she's coming on the stream because I want to talk about how you build a guitar. How do you choose the woods? How do you learn how to make a guitar? How do you start a company? How are you going to develop new products, especially during the era of the pandemic? Like how are you going to navigate that? I think it's going to be a really, really interesting stream, and I really can't wait for it. Really excited for that one. Okay, I'm going to go over to the chat now and see what you're saying. Cheers. Ron says, thanks for the info. I just bought the clip-on tune. I love it. Yeah, I really can't fault it. One thing with the Peterson tuners is, do plug them into your computer with the USB cable. Do load up Google Chrome. It has to be Google Chrome. And go to the Peterson website. Sometimes and often there's a firmware update. And that firmware update took my clip-on tuner to another level. Like it turns on much faster now than it did when I first got it. I'm sure the ones that are shipping now have those updates applied, but do always check with Peterson you've got the latest firmware because they make really good improvements over time as well. The W30, the Focusrite 202 is a good start interface. Focusrite today released a new line of interfaces. You see, there is still a lot of gear coming out. There's not much revolutionary gear coming out, like the Headrush MX5 is basically a smaller Headrush. The new interfaces are just updated interfaces. I think a lot of companies' new products are going to be that, tweaks on existing products, all right, and affordable options and things like that. But there is actually what is considered now a better interface, and I don't have mine anymore. I use Apollo now. I love the Apollo stuff. It's just, for me, it's next level stuff. But I was using the Focusrite for a long time. I am a fan, and I do have one of their options that works well on the iPhone I'm now using. But yeah, these just got released. I want to show these to you quickly. Again, these are at Sweetwater. I do like their stuff. The reason I like the Apollo, and the Apollo's a bit more fiddly to use, but the Apollo allows me to apply the effects, the noise gate. As far as I know, they don't have a noise gate on the Focusrite ones. I wish they would add it, because then I would actually probably consider using one of those again. But I needed that noise gate, and for me that was the problem. So here you go. We have, are these the original ones or the new ones? I just saw today. Oh, and look, they sell refurbished gear on their site, which is good to know as well. You can actually buy a refurbished interface directly from the company. More and more companies are selling stuff direct now. It's kind of interesting, and I think dealers are not happy about it. Let me see if I can find it. Is this the one? It might not even be on this. That's crazy. It has to be on the website. I'm sure it was this one. Ah, is it the Plus? Yes, here you go. Claret Plus. So I used to have this one with the 4 in the middle, $700. So they're basically saying they've just improved the quality of the components and stuff like that. Again, I wouldn't rush to update unless there's something really incredible on there. But all analog air control, new and improved. It makes me laugh when companies say that, you know, like what was wrong with the old ones? Weren't they? Didn't you say they were new and improved before? But they are supposedly new and improved or analog to digital, or digital to analog converters. New and improved headphone output. I had no problem with the old one. JFET instrument inputs. I thought the old one had that. Yeah, I wouldn't rush to upgrade, but if you're looking for an interface, I'd consider this one because they are very good. They're very simple to use. Like I said, I just used the Apollo because I've got those effects. They really should apply some kind of noise gate effects to these because they'd sell a lot more of them. Maybe they have, I don't know. But like for live streaming, you need that noise gate if you live in an apartment. So I'm surprised that they're not thinking like that now for all customers. All right. But the 2i2 that Brad was talking about is the even more affordable one, and that works from an iPad. The iPad will power it. And I can't see where mine is, but I have one. That's what I use it for. I use it for mobile, for iPad. And it is a really cool interface, you're right. Aaron, I learned the Verve's Bittersweet Symphony, and Richard Ashcroft is playing a very cool Gibson Jumbo like yours. I know this is off topic, but will you be playing this song on Sunday? Yes, Rosalind, I was going to play it last week, and I forgot to. Because I like to play that song. And I think his guitar is a J200, if I'm not mistaken. Danielle says, I have the Strobo Plus HT desktop style tuner and like it for home use. For a live gig, I still prefer the speed of a Polytune. With Strobo Plus HD, the metronome was a separate firmware update. You had to pay for it. Oh, I didn't know that. So that's the older version, Danielle. This is the new version, and everything comes with it. It's just one price. There's nothing to pay extra. I have used the Polytune. I never found it that reliable for me. I prefer to tune one string at a time. They do have a strobe mode on there too, but I think I said this before. The thing doesn't angle like the Peterson. Where did I put that Peterson? I've lost it already. Hang on. Did not lose an expensive tuner. With this one, you can clip it on. It's going to blur me out. You can clip it on, and you can rotate it in more ways than you can with that TC one. The TC one is nice too. Brad says strings seem to have held their price. Yeah, good. I hope they stay the same price, Brad. Joe Porter, how does a $1,500 Yamaha compare to a $1,500 Taylor? Oh, that's a question for a whole video, Joe. I could spend 3 hours talking about that, so I'm scared to answer. My thoughts, the summary answer is my thoughts on Yamaha is they make great products for the money across the board. An $1,000 Yamaha guitar is as good as anything else. I just don't connect with the brand for some reason. I connect with Martin. That sounds terrible. It's just the truth. The Yamaha I have, the mahogany guitar, was $999. It's just as good as anything else. But I'm a bit of a headstock snob. You know, I like the fact my guitar is a Martin. I like the fact my Strat is a Fender. That's just the truth. And what I'm trying to say is, if that doesn't bother you, then get the Yamaha, because they're great. If you like Yamaha, if you connect with the brand, or you don't care about that stuff, which some people don't, but, you know, it's all good, then I think Yamaha makes some of the best price stuff there is. Now, Taylor do make the noise gate can't get rid of the planes, unfortunately. The Taylor do make the Academy series, the 100 and 200 series. I've played some of them. I think they're excellent, and they're at the same price, $1,000. So I would look at those guitars. And then the $1,500 Taylor, like the 314, I haven't played enough to really have an opinion. I will cover that in the future when I've tried them. But that's really my summary answer. You cannot really go wrong for the price with a Yamaha. $1,500 bucks on a Yamaha is incredible quality and value. It's just, do you want a Taylor? Do you want a Yamaha? Do you want a Martin? Do you want a Fender? Yeah, I could go. I need more time to go into that. There's many factors. But definitely going to say the $1,500 Yamaha is going to be on paper better value for money. But if you like the ES2, if you like the neck of the Taylor, then obviously that's probably a better way to go. Need to buy new strings. You know, I'm not going through strings as fast as I used to. I haven't changed strings on the guitar in months. I used to change my strings every day. I don't know why. Either I'm streaming more than I'm playing. Well, no, I've been playing this Strat a lot lately, and I haven't changed them since I had it set up. Maybe I should. Maybe it'll sound better. Are you familiar with the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 Studio 3rd Gen as a first recording bundle? If so, thoughts? Yes, I have one. Like I said, I really like it. So let me go to Amazon 2i2. And the reason I like it is because the iPad or the iPhone will power it. So it's great for taking it around with you. Even if you eventually get something more premium, it doesn't matter, because you can use that. You can take that around with you or use it as a backup, which is really cool. Now, there are bundles on Amazon. I often avoid those. Sometimes I feel like they're refurbished or something, even though maybe they're not. I don't really understand that stuff. But straight up from Amazon, they are $170. And I'm going to put my link in the chat, so you can click on it and check it out. It is my affiliate link, so if you don't want to click affiliate links, don't click on it. But that is the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 USB interface, and yeah, I've got one. I love it. I really love it. Obviously I use the Apollo most of the time, but the Focusrite is such a great backup, so great for taking it out with you, because it's bus powered. That means it'll be powered by an iPad. Really, really cool stuff. Highly recommended. And then when you do upgrade to something more premium in the future, if you need to, you can keep that as a backup. The TC Helicon Polytune. You mean TC Electronic? TC Helicon make the vocal stuff, and TC Electronic make the guitar stuff. The Polytune is very good and accurate. Yeah, it is. It is. I don't like the fact it's white and very kind of obvious it's on the headstock. I don't like the fact it doesn't twist. And I don't use Polytune mode because I think it's not as accurate as tuning string by string. And I'm just all in on Peterson now. Thanks for the Peterson. You're welcome, Ron. Just bought the clip-on tune. I love it. Oh, did I read that already? I've gone back, like, in the comments. What do you think of Elixir strings? Right. So I used to not like Elixir strings at all because they felt so kind of fake to me and didn't like the feel of them or the sound of them. But I've been using them lately. Actually, I use them on guitars that I only play, say, once a month. If I've got a guitar I don't play so often, I'll use Elixirs on it. And they're great for like the Rain Song guitar because the Rain Song obviously is carbon fiber. So Elixirs go really well in hand with that. When you pull out the case, it's like it's a fresh guitar. So that's cool. I like them. If you haven't tried them, you should try them. If you like them, I think they're the best way to go because they're a bit more expensive, but they'll last you a long time. I think tonally, I do prefer the Martin Authentic Acoustic, and they've just started selling like bundle packs of those. I think Maury just got some, and all dealers have them now. So you can buy a bundle pack of Martin strings. I would get that. But I do like Elixirs. I do have sets around that I use on certain guitars for certain things, like if I'll be playing outside, if I'm recording and want less string noise, things like that. I do think they're a great option. They're kind of hand in hand to Martin strings with me. I use them both for different reasons. I do like them. The TC Helicon Voice Live 3 and Play Acoustic Tuner isn't bad. It's not. It's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. I wouldn't bother taking the Peterson clip-on to a gig if I was using the TC pedals, like the Voice Live 3, because it's absolutely fine for my needs. But I do try to use these as often as I can. And I just love the fact this is so light and I can just keep it in my gig bag as a backup or tuning between sets or something. Old says, thanks Brad, the bundle includes headphones and a mic, plus there is a second input. Someone I know didn't like the solo but said the 202 might work well. Yeah, so you've got the two inputs on there if you want to record guitar and voice, and you're right, there is a headphone bundle. I have bought bundles before, they were fine. I don't know much about how that works, I didn't really look into it, but Jim says, can you educate us numbskulls how to a stroboscope for tuning? What do you mean, Jim? Can you give me some more info? You mean how to tune with the tuner? I can show you that. Let me know what you mean. Brian, good to see you. I see some new names. Please do me a massive favor and subscribe if you're new here, because I'm trying to hit that magic 10,000 goal, and I need about another 900. So yeah. Subscribe, and if you've subscribed, share the stream. That really helps me out. So Brian says, new and improved versus old and lousy. It's just funny how when something new comes out, the old one was terrible. Oh no, it's much better now. Okay. What are you saying about the thing I bought last year for $5,000? It's no good anymore. Alan Goldman, anyone who looked at the Yamaha FGs from the 70s will just swear by them. Yeah, well, even the new Yamaha FGs, I reviewed one and I think I sold a lot of those from that review. It sounded great. I still have it. I'm probably going to sell it, actually. I don't need it, but what a great guitar for $300. Danielle says, I use the Polytune plug-in pedal tuner. Oh, the plug-in one. Yes, I've seen those. Find it best to check in both modes, 6 strings and 1 string at a time. Yeah, I think with that, it's good to tune 1 string at a time and then strum them all during a song just to check that you're in tune. I think it's a cool concept and it does work, but I personally would still pick the Peterson tuners over that. Big fan of Motu. I haven't tried that, Mark. Haven't tried them. Oh, you can get a black TC clip-on tuner. Let me just make sure they haven't released a version that I haven't seen yet. By the way, I haven't mentioned this yet. I did return the in-ear monitors. They just didn't work for me at all. And I just felt really uncomfortable about spending that kind of money on something that was supposed to be custom and wasn't fitting me like a custom fit. Now, maybe the speakers in my ear were custom fit, but the way they didn't fit in my ears was not good. I now have these Shure in-ear monitors, which are much more affordable and are working out really well. I have to adjust a little bit to them, but I'm very happy with them. And the lesson I learned from that, my friends, is do not, and you probably know, you probably just think I'm crazy. Let me just repeat this, help someone at some point, or even help myself. If you go out of state a long way away and you want to buy something that's not returnable, be very careful, because if you buy local, you can walk into that place and say, I'm not happy with my purchase, let's figure this out. If you buy, nothing against the company, nothing against Ultimate Ears, they have offered me the refund and they're working with me to do that. But I just found it much more difficult to deal with people over email and the phone. If you're going to invest a lot of money in something that's personal, made for you, you should do it with someone local to you so you can see them face to face, address any concerns, and have that place you can walk into if you need to talk to them about the issues. Of course, that's obvious, and I don't know why I didn't do that, but I didn't. So hopefully someone will learn from my mistake. These are the Shores, and I'll be reviewing these compared to the other ones in the future because I'm liking these quite a lot. Yes, Brad is correct. There is a black version of the clip-on tuner. See, I learned something very important today, that there is a black version of the Polytune. That's the white one, that's the black one. Yeah. Now, the only issue I have with this, and the screen is very nice, yes it is. The only issue I have with this is that the clip, the hinge only goes one way. And that for me is a little bit of a problem at times. So yeah, it's good. It's good. I owned one. I think I owned the pedal briefly. I think I had some issues with it. I'd be tuning one string and it would flip over to poly mode. That annoyed me a little bit. Maybe they fixed that with firmware. But like I said, for me, I know, complete disclaimer, I'm friends with the people at Peterson through the NAMM shows. But I only became their friend because I went to their booth and said, I like your tuners. I'm a big fan. And I'm still, if anyone's watching and wants to buy a tuner, I'm still going to vouch for the Petersons myself. All right, Jim says the Yamaha LS26 Engelmann Spruce sounds like a deal to me. Now that's a great series of guitar. The Yamaha LL and LS are really great guitars. There's an LL6, an LL16, and LL26, and yeah, they're really something. They really are something. And they have a very basic undercello pickup, which sounds pretty decent for an undercello pickup. And there's a couple of versions. There's one that's 900, and there's one that's just 1100. Let me show you the one that's 1100. Oh, they're in stock. Woohoo! Finally. I was looking at these a few months ago, and they were not in stock. They're now in stock. Someone should buy this. Seriously. This is Engelmann with binding. It's got the abalone around the sound hole that I'm a big fan of. That's on the John Mayer guitar. It's a really nice piece of wood. I think that top is nicer than the Taylor we saw. There's the truss rod. The back is nice. The neck is not as, I don't like the neck as much as the Martin, but the neck is good. Tuners are okay. I prefer vintage style, but they work very well. Look at that. You gotta be kidding me. 1129. It's just great. The quality, and this is one of my favorite Yamahas actually, this model, is Engelmann. It's like the John Mayer. The John Mayer's 3500. This is 1129. And it has this. This is almost the John Mayer because it has an undercello pickup, passive. John Mayer has an active one, but it's an undercello pickup. Same top on the same wood on the top, same wood on the back and sides, and a third or fourth of the quarter of the price or something. If you're looking for a great guitar, I don't want to keep talking about my affiliate link. If you want to buy something using my affiliate link, please do. I get commission at no cost to you. But seriously, if you are looking for a great acoustic electric guitar that kind of does everything really well right now, then you should probably get this one because it's great. And I can't believe they got it in stock. So yeah. Wow. The one I have is the Red Label. Has a kind of a better pickup system and is mahogany. These ones here. The one I had was around 999. Where's that? This one. I have this one. I don't know if I'll keep it. I'm thinking about selling it because I'm just not drawn to it as an instrument, as something I want to pick up and play. But the pickup is great. The acoustic sound is great. It's mahogany, and it's a great price. And yeah, I just personally want to sell stuff on to get other stuff to review on the channel and upgrade my gear for the channel. But this is a great guitar as well. So I have to give them their due. The two guitars I just showed you are just fantastic. They're just not my first choice. Just being honest. And again, I hope you don't think I'm crazy for thinking that way. Torrified Engelmann should be great for fingerstyle. Yeah. Polytune not for sale anymore. Change the name and they are now black. Really? Polytune. No, they still have them. Polytune. Yeah, they're in stock. Polytune clip, black clip-on polyphonic tuner. They're in stock at Sweetwater. Yeah. Very impressed with Santa Cruz strings, says Mark. Yeah, I've heard about them. The parabolic strings, really expensive, and they're just kind of one gauge, right? They just like for small body guitars or large body guitars. I haven't tried them yet. I will look into those at some point. Oh, sorry, my bad. Been subscribed for a while. I appreciate it. Sometimes I haven't seen your name for a while and I forget. Like Jasper's here every week, so I remember Jasper. Just kidding, Jasper. I appreciate you being here. Polytune comes in black too. Yes, it does. You're right. I'm behind on the chat. Okay. Can you educate us numbskulls how to use a strobe scope for tuning? You mean the strobe tuner, right? Because I do know some people have had issues with it. Some people have used my strobe tuner and said, no way, I'm not using that. I'm going to use my snark. And it's just something you have to take a few minutes to get used to. So I'll put this onto tuner mode again. 1 second. Oh, there's a countdown too. There's a stopwatch. So you can make sure you're tuning the right amount of time. So, basically what happens... Oh, how weird. Basically what happens is... as you tune, if they go to... If the circle here spins to the right, you're sharp. And if they spin to the left, you're flat. So visually, it is a different thing to other tuners. Other tuners don't react like that. So the problem is I can't really show you. Hang on, let me see if I can do this. I could do it with my voice, but I'm not going to. I'm going to plug in my electric guitar. It's just something you've got to practice and get used to. It won't take very long, I promise you. So if I hit an E string on here, you see the lines are not moving. If they're not moving, then you're in tune. Now, if the string was flat, well, first of all, it says D sharp, so you know you're out of tune. But you see how they're very quickly spinning the other direction? That means you've got to go sharp on here. See, now it's in tune, but it's the wrong note. It's a D sharp. You've got to go more, obviously. You see they're spinning to the left? That means you're flat. So you go a little bit, and you do very small adjustments on the guitar because it's very accurate. So you'll go past it if you're not careful. And you want to get it so they're not moving. And if they move a little bit, you haven't got to be crazy about it. You don't have to worry about it because you're still really in tune. So don't worry about that. But that's how you do it. And you just got to take some time to get used to that. And if you watch my other reviews of the other tuners, you'll see me doing it on there as well. So Brad's had his for ages. Which short in-ears do you have? Says Alan Coleman. Good question. I can't remember what they are. Hang on. 535. And they come with many different attachments and tips on them. The cable that came with them had a control, which I didn't want, like an inline control. So I ordered another one from Amazon, which has no controls. This one, unfortunately, is too short. So if you're going to get the cable, I would get the longer one. Then again, I am 6'5". I need a longer cable because of my body height and all this stuff. But that's the cable you can buy as an optional extra. They're a couple of $100. Actually, in England, they're about £200. In America, they're more like $500. But they sound very good. I think these sound better than the previous ones I was using, which is a good sign. And yeah, I like them. And I'm getting more used to them now as well. Like everything else, anything new, you've got to get used to it. You've got to give stuff a chance. That's new. It's like any like clothing or guitar or anything, you've got to get used to it, right? So, I hope that helps. That's the Shure 535. I actually got them on a deal, on a sale. If I look at these on Sweetwater right now, if you're in the UK, but here's a tip. If you're in the UK, these might still be on sale. And you can get them really deep discount. If you're in the USA right now, these are actually, if I'm not mistaken, $449, which is more on the premium side, but I do like them. I actually like them quite a bit. So I would recommend them. I'm not an expert on in-ears, and they're not returnable, so be careful. But these are doing very well so far. I'm liking everything about them. And like I said, if you're in the UK, Brad, they're on sale on the Shure website. So check that out. That's a lovely guitar. It really is. If I was looking for a guitar right now, I'd be buying that. Any experience with Bedell guitars? No, I don't know anything about them actually. Let's take a look at them together. They're made in Oregon. I've got a good friend who builds guitars in Oregon, works for Loudon, but I don't know. Let's see what we think. They look very nice. Oh, they're using the Anthem pickup. Big fan of the Anthem. They look very nice. Of course, I've heard of these. I've never played one. Of course, I've heard of them, yeah. That's the orchestra model. They don't have like a GPC shape. They look cool. Oh, here we go. Cutaway. Orchestra cutaway. Lovely wood. Look at the wood they're using. Just top quality stuff. And I guess smaller builders can use that. Look at this. Look at that. Okay, these are obviously not cheap guitars. That's an Adirondack. Well, not bad though. That's an Addy top. East Indian rosewood back and sides. Is this an Addy top? Yeah. Oh wow. $39.90. That's good. That's not rosewood though, right? On the back, what is that? Let's see. Topwood Addy. Wow. Yeah. I don't know much about them, but I gotta say, they look great. I'd love to try one. Yep. Let's see who sells them. All the boutique shops. Bedell. Is it Bedell or Bedell? I don't even know the don't really know these stores. Elderly. I know Elderly, so they have them. I just want to see what kind of prices they are. Bedell. There we go. $5,000. I mean, I feel like a lot of guitars are $5,000 now anyway, so it's not too bad. This one here. Yeah, I mean it looks great. The quality looks so good, doesn't it? Look at that binding around the edge. That's cool. I like that. Nice tuners. The wood looks the wood just looks super premium, doesn't it? That's what you're paying for. Looks like, there we go, Jasper. That's a good hard shell case. You can just tell by the quality of it. Of course, you still don't really know how good the seal is, but I'm pretty sure it's good. Look at that. I love that. Look at that. Wow. That's like really classy, but still kind of modern in a way. Yeah. Thank you for turning me on to them. You see, if I was going to NAMM, I could try one. They'd be there. I won't be able to try one for a while. The action is always very good on the Yamahas. Yeah, I mean, any guitar can be hit and miss with action because there's such a personal preference, and any guitar can slip through with a problem. But they do tend to play pretty well, I agree. Looks nice. I think the LS26 is more money. Yeah, so what it is, non-scallop. Is it non-scalloped? The LL and the LS26 are made in Japan, I think, and the 16 are made in China. But my red label is made in China, and I had the Japanese one briefly. I had a crack in it, so I went back to Guitar Center. It was like a used, again, another story of a used guitar, whatever, coming through. But I don't know if there's any difference. Very, very minor differences to me for what you're getting. So the LL26 is more money, yes. The 26 series are actually, I'm just taking a look, 2,500. But they're handmade in Japan, and they're just, again, incredible. The interesting thing with those is that version does not have the pickup, I believe. The pickup is in the 6 and in the 16. The 26 doesn't have the pickup. But of course, you can just install your own passive undersaddle pickup or whatever, or K&K or whatever. It's not a problem. But that's still great. That's still great, the fact that the 26 is 24. That's still an incredibly competitive price, isn't it? Just absolutely stunning. And I think the bracing is, I thought it was scallop, no? Oh, you're right. Modified non-scallop bracing. Okay, I didn't realize that. So it's a bit like a kind of a D28 kind of vibe. But anyway, great instruments, great prices on them. Really can't argue with that. All right, what are we saying down here? When tuning with the Polytune clip-on, it Clip it on backwards. The display behind the headstock. Easy read, no need to twist the display. That's a good tip. I always do that anyway, Jasper. I always put the display behind the headstock. Oh, now I've messed up my in-ears. I always put the display behind the headstock because that way the audience can't see it because it's hidden behind the headstock. I would never clip it on the front because then you can obviously see it's obvious there's a tuner stuck on there. Jasper says you can buy the Unitune for 50% less. Also buy TC Electronics. Looks like they're changing the name. Really? Unitune. Let's Google that. I'm learning so much today. This is great. Even though you spend all these hours on the internet, you can still learn new stuff. You're absolutely right. What is this? Holy mackerel. Check this out. It's exactly the same tuner. $30. So it's TC. It's still TC Electronic. Okay. Now, this is what happened. This is what happened. TC Helicon and TC Electronic are some of my favorite companies ever. They were bought by Behringer. Okay. And they continue to be sold at all places. TC are now being sold exclusively in the USA by Sweetwater, exclusively in the Europe by Thomann. So you can only buy TC stuff now at Sweetwater. But as a result of this, the good news is the prices have dropped. So the Voice Live 3 Extreme used to be about $700, $800. Now it's more like $600. Prices have come down because they're only dealing with Sweetwater direct. And I believe that's what's happened with this. Yes, they've changed the name of it. Oh, but hang on. Does this still do polyphonic tuning? Oh, no, I'm completely wrong. That's why it's called Unitune, of course. It doesn't do polyphonic, right? It doesn't mention polyphonic anywhere, does it? Okay. They have kept the nice display that people like, and I do like the display, and they've basically taken out the polyphonic stuff because a lot of people don't use it. So that's what they've done, and they've halved the price. They're still selling the Polytune. That's okay. So I was wrong. But prices have come down. For example, the Voice Live 3 Extreme, I noticed, and oh, no, that's a bad example. The Play Acoustic, great pedal. Love this pedal, right? Play Acoustic. Always spell acoustic wrong. Is now $279. It was $299. So the prices have dropped. This is finally back in stock. Great pedal. One of my favorite pedals of all time. So prices have come down. But yeah, the Unitune is the version without the chromatic tuning, Jasper. I think, unless I'm mistaken. What model are the Shure in-ears, Aaron? I just said, didn't I? What did I say? These are the SE535. SE535. If I go over to the Shure website, is there a place to search here? SE53. Let me see if they're still on sale for you. They might not be. No, they're not. Oh, I'm in the USA site, that's why. USA 449, UK I think is 175. Our friend The Real Ting was saying last week. So check that out. If they are still on sale, you should probably buy a pair. If you're in the USA, 449 is a bit more money, but they are good. So I'll leave that up to you. Or wait for my full review. Okay. What do you think the better sounding Martin is? My ears say 0018. My heart says 0028. Ooh. I still have the 0018. I'm probably going to sell it eventually once I've reviewed it. I got it used for a really great price to do a pickup review with. I'm still working on that. But that's really tough. Like I prefer rosewood. I've said this a few times now, but the mahogany is light. It's dry, which means you get less kind of weird frequencies potentially jumping out at you, and it records really well, and they're more affordable. The rosewood has those more lively frequencies. It's a little bit heavier, But I just like that richer, more kind of detailed sound you get from, more kind of luscious sound you get from the Rosewood. I would go with the 0028 Rosewood. But I understand why there's so many fans of the 0018. Seems like Martin isn't putting out as many signature models. Yeah, well, what they're doing, Ricardo, in my opinion, is just stripping away all the fat. They're saying, right, what do we sell? OM28. What do we sell? D28. What do we sell? HD28. Okay, make those guitars. And why wouldn't you do that if that's where your income comes from, right? But I think they will start doing more again once things calm down and they catch up with all the orders they have. You have the Focusrite listed to do your vids. Are you not using the Apollo? Yes, Thomas Moore, you're absolutely right. I haven't updated it lately. I'm actually using a different camera, a different interface. So I need to update it. Yeah, thanks for reminding me that. I was using the Focusrite for years, and I just changed about 6 months ago. I got the Apollo Twin, so you're absolutely right. I will update that. Eric says, do you think Josh is the father of... Huh? I don't know what you mean, Eric. Sorry. Thomas Moore says, you have the Focusrite. Oh, no, I said that. Patsy Smith says, Brad Bradstock, on the Shore Great Britain site, the SE535s are currently $179. Yes. My friend, the Real Ting, who frequents this chat, was saying that they're on sale last week for $179. They still are. If you're in the UK and looking for in-ear monitors, check out the SE535s at $179. That's a really good price if you're in the UK. Okay, so Sweetwater said to TC, because they're now partners basically, they're now like brother companies. So they now said, or brother or sister companies, they now said to them, okay, make that tuner but without the polyphonic stuff. Make the Unitune. I get it. I hadn't heard that until today though. Thanks for telling me. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks, Alan. Ricardo says, I still use an old Boss tuner with a needle. Works well enough. Yeah, the Boss tuners are great. Tommy Emmanuel still uses them. They're very good. They are very good. But I personally do prefer the Peterson stuff. Mike says, hi, how you doing, Mike? Oh dear, Brad. Sorry about that. The price went up. Sorry, buddy. Sorry about that. I should have told people before, but I didn't. Because I'm still trying them out. Hey, Steve. And hey, Steve. Oh. And just... Oh, you got two accounts, Steve. Okay. Jasper says, do you feel Rosewood goes better with your voice or mahogany? For this, I choose mahogany. Something not many have considered. Great question. I can't say I've ever thought about it, Jasper. Obviously, it's a good idea to record yourself and listen back to that recording. That's why it's so good to have an audio interface. I never really thought about it at all. And I guess my thought behind that is if you're plugging in, you can always cut those mids, cut that low end, and shape the tone of any instrument for your voice anyway. If you're recording with a microphone, yeah, I just haven't thought about it. I don't think it's something that... Yeah, I just haven't put much thought into that at all. I can't say I've ever noticed when I've recorded with OMs, with Dreadnoughts, with Mahogany, with Rosewood over the years. I never thought about it. On my album, 10 Songs About Truth, Lies, and Other Things, which is on Spotify and all those places, that is actually an Addy-topped mahogany guitar that I used for that. And then on other recordings I made recently, I've used the HD28. I don't really say I've... Because when I'm recording, I'll go in there and EQ anyway and take those frequencies away if needed. So I guess I haven't really thought about it that much. But yeah, there is a process there, because the tone of the guitar and the tone of your voice will be competing for similar frequencies if you don't EQ it. So it's worth thinking about for sure. Hey, professional procrastinator. I can't even say your name. I was just saying, I had the in-ears tweaked and they still didn't fit very well. I was kind of freaking out. I asked them to refund me. They said they're going to. I shipped them back and they're going to refund me. Supposedly, I'll let you know if they do or they don't. But I've actually moved on now to these non-custom. And I was just saying earlier, if you missed what I said, if you're buying anything custom, go there in person. So you've got someone you can talk to in person. Ultimate Ears have been fine to deal with over email. But I just think doing this stuff in person is probably a better idea. Been on holiday in the Lake District. Very nice. No internet. Very nice. Exactly. You get a break. That's a good thing. I want to move up from my Martin OXMAE to one of the following. Okay. Iris CH, never heard of it. Martin 0028 or 18. Taylor 812. Yamaha LS26. A local luthier is resurrecting two 1960s Guild M20s. And once he gets them up and running, I'll try them and decide what to go with. That's a tough call, Jim. I mean, in my opinion, any of those is kind of a decent upgrade to the OXMAE. Now, the question is, do you want a pickup? And then if you get the Taylor, do you want it to come with the ES2? Do you like the ES2? I would say that Yamaha, like I said, is a great buy for the price. The Martin 0028, probably a great choice too. I don't know, they're all very different. You've got a lot of options there. I wouldn't want to be you right now. I wouldn't be able to sleep tonight deciding which way to go. Okay. Hey Brad, just maybe they'll be on sale again at some point. Hello, I'm so happy with my Martin Lux bridge pins installed on my shallow body Martin D16E Rosewood. Now the sound is so balanced and has beautiful sustain. Shallow body is so comfortable to play. Yeah, so many people now are going for those shallow body and small body guitars, and they want the comfort. I get it. Even as someone that's 6'5", I get it. And the Lux pins, I did review them for Maury's Music. Maury's Music sent me those to review on the channel. I did the review, it's on my channel, and I did notice a difference. I was really surprised. I did not think that those Lux bridge pins would have an effect like they did. They really brought out the low end a bit more, and the volume increased slightly. So I never thought that would be the case. The only thing with those is, I wish they'd make a set that just looked very natural, because the ones they make now have that look to them, which is fine if you like the look of them, but I wish they'd also make a set which looked like the plastic pins. I mean, you could argue that then people don't know you've bought some nice pins for your guitar, but I'm just so traditional at times, you know. Jim says, oh yeah, missed that one. Good answer for me. That is the difference between those two woods. Thank you. Harry and the guitar. Harry, I've asked you to do a duet with me and we haven't done it, and I want to do it. I want to do Lucky Man on the Noel Gallagher J150, and I want you to do the other instrumentation on it. So no pressure, but I still think about that from time to time, and I'd like to do it. Harry has a fantastic channel. Go and check that out if you play guitar. Really, really cool quality stuff he does there. He says, considering you love your acoustics, I'm stuck between the Authentic series and Modern Deluxe. They're very different. They're very different and they're very similar because they're both going for the same vibe, right? In a way, and yet they're completely not, because the Authentic is trying, especially the aged Authentic, is trying to be that Martin that we can't afford, that Martin from 1939 that we want to own so desperately, but right now is $300,000. I'm exaggerating, right? But that's what they are. And then the Modern Deluxe is harkening back to those guitars in a way. It's saying this is a very traditional Martin, but with some very modern appointments. Like we were just saying, it's got the new liquid metal bridge pins. It's got the carbon fiber bridge plate. It's got all this modern kind of tweaks to it, but it's still very traditional. The one thing I would say is, I know you're very traditional like me, like you like your Fender amps and all this stuff. By the way, I'm playing amps more and more these days. I'm actually just moved away from a few digital pedals I was using. I really love tradition, and for that reason, I would personally look at the Authentics very seriously. Now, the question is, do you want the aged Authentic or the non-aged? Because the aged is basically relict, and we all have different feelings about relict. But you can also get it non-aged as well. There's only one problem I have with those guitars, myself. There's only one thing that holds me back, apart from the price being much more than the Modern Deluxe, and that is the neck. The neck is fat. There's no truss rod. I don't really mind that, but that might be an issue in some places where you live. But the problem is the neck is that real 1939 neck. It's fat, and I don't like that on any guitar. My problem with the Modern Deluxe is the neck is very thin, and I don't like that either. I know I just sound really fussy now, I like the neck on the standard series. So I would actually consider getting something like an HD28 or a custom HD28 with an Adirondack top, which is what I played at the Groom Guitar in Nashville. But it's a real tough call. The Modern Deluxe, like the one with the pickup, has a great pickup system now with a brand new one from Fishman. It's so cool. They have the Evo fret wire. I love all that stuff. I just don't love the neck or the guitars with the ones I've played. That haven't blown me away as much as I want them to. I still like the standard series. I would still go for an HD28 or an HD28 custom with an Addy top, something like that, for that kind of money. But I do have a real interest after the NAMM show. At NAMM, I played a D28 Authentic, and I really want one. If I ever found one at a great price, I'd probably get one. But that's a serious investment. So I hope that helps. There's a few things to consider there. Bradstock, the Shure website in Germany are selling them for €199. There you go. Buy them from Germany. I think they might be on sale in the UK, Brad. Have another look. Make sure you're looking in the right place. I've had a pair of 535 for a long time. Switched out the cable multiple times. They were great. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And these are really cool because the cable just snaps away and you can just get a new one. Replace it anytime. It's really cool. Very affordable way to do it. The cheaper ones I used to use from Amazon, the cable kept coming away. This doesn't happen with these. Good night, Brad. Sleep well, my friend. Thomas Moore says, I have the Unitune and the Polytune. Both work well. Hardly ever use the Polytune feature. Yeah, that's how I was. I just didn't use it. I found it a little bit unreliable when I had one. I do think they both get their guitar in tune. I have a Boss TU2 and need to upgrade it. It's hard to see in the sun. Yeah. Well, like I said, the Peterson Strobo Stomp is great. Check those out. Give me some thumbs up. Yes, I agree. Why don't you give me some more thumbs up? That'd be great. Jim says, I'm 68 years young. I am not going to start busking, so no pickup needed for next guitar. Okay, so don't worry about the pickup then. I do it without. Oh, good. He said we'll do it. I'd love to do that, Harry. I really would. I want to do more covers on the channel, and I want to do. I'm a big fan of the Verve. I love Lucky Man. I got the Noel Gallagher J150, and heck, you know, videos with that guitar and that get good views anyway because everyone's looking for that guitar. So that's great. Let's do it. I'll record my parts and get them over to you when I get time. Love to do that song with you. Jim said, Rosnan, Iris guitars are made just 20 miles from me, so I need to check out their shop. Yeah, if you've got a local place, definitely go there. That's one reason why I love Martin Guitar, because they're local and I can always go there if I need to. Well, when there's not a pandemic, of course. Jasper says, don't change bridge pins afterwards. You like the D18 sound, keep it stock, it won't be a D18. Many people change back to original factory afterwards. Yeah, well, I disagree a little bit, Jasper. I think you should try them. I think if you're curious about different bridge material and bridge pins, you should try it and then live with it for a few weeks and then decide, did it make a positive or a negative impact or no impact whatsoever. I'm kind of a stock person as well. I don't like changing things away from stock, but I will do it if yeah, I'm the same. I'll try things. Very often I do go back to stock. I am that way as well, but I do think it's worth trying. I do think those new bridge pins made a big change to the sound, and some people might like that. Is this just me, or do mahogany Martins in September sound better than rosewoods? This is based on the weather. Totally, because the wood is absorbing the moisture. We've spoke about humidity a lot, and we'll talk about it very soon because obviously humidity will be an issue very soon. What happens is the wood dries out, especially like in October, November, the heat comes on, the woods dry out, and a lot of luthiers will say the guitars sound best the minute before they crack. So, of course, that's not a good thing to rely on because you don't want your guitar to crack. It's not worth the risk. But dry guitars apparently do sound better. So yeah, the weather and the heat and all this stuff totally has an impact on the tone of your guitar. I'd like to hear his thoughts on the Iris Dan DE11 model. Let me take a look at it. Iris DE11. Never heard of Iris Guitars. It turns out there's a lot of guitar companies out there I've never even heard of. Dan Erlewine. See, it's got the V-neck. I'm not a huge fan of the V-neck. Who's calling me from Florida? Who lives in Florida? It could be Peter Gregg. I'll call him back. I'm not a big fan of the V-neck myself. Built-in capo? What the heck is that? Huh? I'm learning so much today. This is great. What is the built? It says there's a built-in capo system. I can't see any pictures of it. Oh, there it is. There it is. 1 second, I'll show you on the screen. Look at this. Built-in capo system. So the guitar, it's got a capo built into the guitar. I have no idea what that is or how that works. The tuning pegs are behind the headstock. That's interesting. Look at that. Yeah, I know. It looks interesting. I'll have to do some more research on that. It's certainly not a traditional kind of Martin, is it? It's quite unique and got some unique features. So yeah, I'll check those out. Thank you. Never heard them before. Iris. So Thomas Moore said I had 3 mahogany Martins out. And they all sounded better to my ears than my own 28 custom shop. Well, mate, there's so many factors with that, Thomas. Sometimes you prefer mahogany to rosewood. Sometimes, I don't know. The weather can affect things. Sometimes our ears are tired or different. There's many factors that go into that. Some days I'll play a guitar and just not like it. The strings may have aged. And a lot of this stuff does change day to day. Rosalind says, those Lux bridge pins are very cool. A local luthier who works on Martins and Gibsons raised an interesting eyebrow at these. Yeah, they are cool. They are cool. I just personally like the look of the plastic ones more. And I wish they'd make them look like that. Jim says, see, I just took dinner out the oven. Jim, my stomach is rumbling now. Chicken. Oh, man. What are you doing to me? Now I'm hungry. Alan Coleman, why shouldn't you start busking at 68? It's good for the soul. Of course, busking is something that everyone should do. Jim, you definitely have to check them out. Times are wasting. I wish there was a guitar maker near me. Bethany Guitars isn't too far away from me. Yeah, like I said, that's why I got into Martin, actually, just because they were so close by. Any feedback on the fact that soon Martins will go up in price due to wood becoming much more expensive? Well, that's just something that's been happening for years, Jasper. And I was saying earlier, the price of all this stuff is going up every year anyway, as is everything else in the world. And then wood is also getting rarer. So as the wood gets rarer and the prices go up, you're just going to get this. I think, and I say this with caution, but if your lifelong goal is to own a Martin HD28, then you should look at getting one now, because I bet if we have this conversation in 5 years' time, the guitars are going to be much more expensive, aren't they? And who knows? What if they run out of East Indian rosewood? It could happen. It could happen. So I would jump on that myself. Pooh, the one and only Pooh Ninja is here. A built-in capo, that's right. I'd have to do more research on what that means. Yeah, Jim just made us all very hungry now. Thanks a lot, Jim. I'm going to give one more plug for my special guest next Wednesday. I really want to have a good crowd for her because I think what she's doing is really great. And we have a very interesting story about how I found out about her guitars, which I'm going to save for the live stream. So I'd really appreciate it if you could put this on your calendar. Wednesday, September 15th at 4 p.m. EST. I do realize that a lot of our friends here watch Maury, and Maury will be live at that time as well, but maybe you can have 2 windows open or something like that. I don't know. But it's 4 p.m. EST. It'll be available to watch again as well. And this is someone that's building these boutique guitars. I hope it's okay to say that, boutique. I mean, this is someone who's building guitars, and we can ask her about her thought process and what she does. And I think it's going to be absolutely fascinating. And if you've got any friends that might be interested, please do share the flyer with them. I'll be posting it on social soon. Please do share the stream with them and invite them along. I'd love to get a good crowd in for this one. So I hope you can make it. Eddie, how you doing, Eddie? Atkin Guitars. Atkin. You know, I'm just realizing how many brands of guitars there are now. I just thought it was just Martin and Taylor. I kid, of course. I kid. And I'm sure these are wonderful. It's definitely worth looking into these smaller builders. You know, they obviously are going to take a lot of attention to detail to the instruments, and you're supporting someone local. That's a really good thing to do, I think. But like we say, always go and play them. They have something called a D37 pre-war, so I'm guessing this is kind of a Martin-style guitar. What do you think about that? What do you think about these companies that are basically building Martins in smaller numbers? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you want the Martin on the headstock? Does it bother you, or not? I have heard of these. I think the guy from Anderton's plays these, doesn't he? I think. So look, check this out. A baked. I'm not really a fan of baking the wood in general. I think sometimes it takes some of the shine away for me. But anyway, a baked AAA Addy top, which is great. Gorgeous top on this one. Absolutely stunning top. Look at that. Wow, that's a top. And look at the back and sides as well. Back and sides look really nice. Look at that. Oof. That is Madagascan rosewood. You know, you're going to get great specs. You're probably going to maybe get a better price. Attention to detail. I mean, we can argue that. I'm just going to say that because if one builder is building a guitar by themselves and taking 6 months to do it, you might or might not get better attention to detail. They might or might not be able to get better quality woods because they're buying in less bulk. The nut width is 1/11/16. So yeah, we were talking earlier with Harry about getting a pre-war Martin kind of style guitar. Well, you could get something like this. But like I said, are you a sticker snob? Let me know. I am. I'm not going to lie. I'm a sticker snob. I like seeing that Martin name on the headstock. I think I'm not very proud of it, but that's the truth. So Eddie, I'd love to try one. It all comes down to the guitar, doesn't it? You're going to have to try one. If you live in the UK, you should go and try these other builders and see. You might find something that you just absolutely adore and you want to get that over the Martin, or you might want to get both. Who knows, right? But you have to play them because sometimes you play a guitar and you just don't bond with it for whatever reason. If you're interested in boutique guitars, JP Cormier swears by Boucher. Is it Boucher or Boucher? I can't pronounce any names today. They sound amazing when he plays them on YouTube. Never heard one in person. Yeah, well, a lot of things sound great on YouTube. You have to play these things in person. And I say that with respect. But there's nothing like playing an amp or a guitar in the room. I think that's very important. So if you're looking at a new brand and you don't know much about them, I really want to feel the neck. I really want to look at it up close and the quality, and I really want to hear the sound in the room. It's different with Martin. I've played a lot of Martins. We hear them every week on different channels. We have a lot of references. But with a new brand, I really want to hear them in person as well. Daisy, how easy? Sorry, unfinished question. Terrible YouTube interface. Daisy, first question. Is high glue worth the money? Yeah, well, these are the questions you can ask Daisy. It's next Wednesday, Jasper, at 4 p.m. Oh, there's so much to talk about with her. She does art, she does music, she builds the guitars. There's lots of background to fill in there. And then the second half, towards the end, we'll take questions. And what a great opportunity to ask the questions to someone that actually builds guitars, right? I think Eddie liked the guitar I just showed on the screen. He says, I'd sniff that sound hole. Old says, I'm like you, Aaron. I sadly come to the realization I'm a Martin snob. Yeah, I am too. And I have kind of deviated a bit. Like I like Rain Song because they make a guitar that you can take out and is very durable. I like the Australian guitars because they have these built-in pickup systems that no one else has. I like the Fender Acoustic Sonic because it's a new kind of guitar. But when it comes down to a 6-string acoustic, I really do like the whole Martin thing. I really do. Am I a blue chip user? I've got itchy nose, I know that. Am I a blue chip user? Well, I've actually just started using it. I had one for a few years and never used it. And I've actually been using it the last few days because I lost my Jazz 3s, and this is a 40. And I do like it. I do like it. I like that blurry background too. But my go-to is still the good old Jim Dunlop. No, not that. That's the wrong one. My go-to is still the Jim Dunlop Jazz 3 XL. I just love the feel. I love the grip. I love this. I just love everything about them. Jazz 3 XL. Jasper North, from a horse's point of view, nay, high glue is inferior. Oh yeah, true. The horses don't like it, I hear. Bill says the reason I haven't got SE13E is because I can't find one to try out, and like you, waiting to see if they make a 28. Exactly. There will be a 28, and I will get it. And the 13, I'm sure is decent. I don't think I would like the pickup system. But people say that pickup is great for an undersaddle. It's still an undersaddle pickup. I don't buy it. I want the 28 version. I still like the GPC. GPCs, they stopped making them because they want to make more 28s and standard series. So they've discontinued the GPCs, but I still think they're a great guitar too. Always worth taking your current guitar and playing it back to back with the one you're trying. A lot of guitar shops have rooms to help the guitar sound great. Exactly. Some guitar rooms actually make the guitar you're testing sound even better. Some YouTube channels apply EQ, stuff like that. So definitely take the reference guitar and play that guitar, or try to get the guitar at home as well and try it in your own home. Because a room can make a guitar sound completely different as well. Thomas Moore, I'd like to try the McPherson ones Muriel Anderson plays. Yeah, I hear great things about McPherson. I haven't played them. The reason I like the Rain Song is because they have that traditional look. Rain Song look very traditional, where the other brands look very futuristic, and I like the more traditional look. All right, well, that was a great stream. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing if you're new here. Thank you for your questions. I love that there's always so much to talk about on here, which is really, really cool. And I learn a lot from everyone here that's joining in as well. And I discover new things, and we get to catch up on the gear news for the week. So I'm really enjoying these streams. Monday, 4 o'clock, Thursday, 4 o'clock, Sunday, 4 o'clock for the concert. Next week, please remember, Wednesday, special session on the Wednesday, 4 o'clock. So next week will be Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I hope you can make it. If you've subscribed already, please share this with your friends. If you're ever in a forum where they're talking about gear or guitars or Martin guitars or anything that I talk about, please drop a link and say you like my channel, because it's so much better than when I do it. I don't want to go around the internet asking people to come here. If you like what I'm doing, it's much better for me if you tell people about it, okay? Rosanna, thanks for moderating. I'm glad we didn't need any moderation today. Thank you, Bart. Yep, I love these sessions. They're so... I plan them, but they just always go off on a tangent. It's always great. Always great. Thank you, Bill. Thanks, Lee. Only had sound. Well, it's a good thing that Rosanna was here to do it then, wasn't it, Lee? Thanks for your support. I will see you Sunday, if not before. I do have a lot of videos coming. I got really sidetracked last week when we had the flooding downstairs. They're still working on that. I feel so bad for people downstairs with the flooding. But I will be catching up soon. There are some new products coming out, so stay tuned for that. I'll be reporting on them. All right. Everyone have a great evening. Go and play your guitar. Go and check out Maury on Facebook. He's starting in a few minutes' time with Clayton. I might see you over there in a little while once I got my dinner cooking. And I'll see you soon. Thank you, Thomas. I'm happy to share the info. If you like what I'm doing, subscribe, ring the bell, share. And if you really like what I'm doing, use my affiliate links if you buy something, because I get commission, no cost to you. Or you can buy me a coffee as well. I'll throw a link up on the screen right now. Take care, and I'll see you real soon. Thank you so much.